Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your first Chelsea news video of the week. Make sure if you guys are enjoying these daily videos, you smack a like on the video and subscribe to GBFC so that you do not miss anything as we move closer to the start of Chelsea's season. This week we have got two pre-season friendlies, AC Milan, Bayer Leverkusen, both at Stamford Bridge, and then the big kickoff is next Sunday at home to Crystal Palace. But this morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's been quiet really on the Chelsea transfer front. But today, bloody hell has it been a busy Monday lunchtime. I was live on GBFC. Make sure you tune in for the lives because finally today it started to go off. We have got to talk about Dewsbury Hall exit, Ugo Chukwu, Broja, and lots of other stories as well. But let's begin, first of all, by reminding you lot about the GBFC 10 discount. If you do want to get anything from the Megastore this summer, new kits, training wear, everything, GBFC 10 is the discount code that gets you 10% off your order. You can use the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. Let's move now into the latest here. From 5 hours ago, Christopher Nkunku still planning to leave Chelsea this summer with talks ongoing. Nicola Jackson can also leave before end of window in case of important proposal. Follows CFC exit plan with Guiu and Broja done, Felix official, Tyreek George and Sterling next. So over the weekend we spoke a little bit here, and yesterday we entertained the idea that potentially Maresca wants to keep Nkunku this summer. That was coming from L'Equipe in France, but it looks as though that's been shut down very early on Monday morning, with Christopher Nkunku still expected to leave Chelsea. But let's move into some more Chelsea updates here. Marc Cucurella, we heard about the new contract a few days ago, July the 29th. Chelsea plan to offer new deal to Cucurella, key part of the long-term project. Al Nassr links not confirmed. Yoel Hato will be back up at left-back and also key addition in centre-back, and there is Cucurella there with the Conference League trophy. Marc Cucurella signing a new deal. Fabrizio's reposted this today. So for a player signing a new contract on a Monday, for him to repost this story with "here we go" sandwiched in for other players across other clubs and other deals, I think Cucurella's new contract signing will probably be announced very soon from Chelsea Football Club. So that is also good news there on the Chelsea front. But let's keep scrolling up here, because this then dropped about an hour ago. Understand Borussia Dortmund have reactivated direct talks with Chelsea for Kane Chukwuemeka. Negotiations ongoing between the clubs to find a solution as Kane wants the move. Chelsea insist on permanent transfer. So let's also mention and reference here a little bit regarding what we heard at the weekend regarding Xavi Simons and the players that Leipzig were looking at from Chelsea. Now, Chukwuemeka was one of those names, but as we know, Kane Chukwuemeka had a loan spell at Dortmund last year, and he is very interested in that move. Chelsea are not interested on any kind of loan deal. It is permanent transfer or nothing for Kane Chukwuemeka this summer. I think it would be useful, potentially, if it is Dortmund that Chukwuemeka wants to go to, if there's an obligation to buy here that is a favourable fee for Chelsea Football Club, then I don't see it being a negative to loan Chukwuemeka to Dortmund if there is that obligation to buy this summer. Don't include any of those Jadon Sancho get out of jail free for Chelsea cards in these contracts, and maybe this deal could get done. But to see Kane Chukwuemeka, right, a player who I saw CB. For those of you who don't know CB, I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description somewhere. The guy's doing bits right now in the Chelsea content space. He said, if Chukwuemeka didn't get injured, then we wouldn't have gone for Cole Palmer. And I think there may have actually ended up being some truth in that. And Kane Chukwuemeka now leaving Chelsea, incredibly unfortunate with that injury. He was doing so well. Even in that game alone at West Ham, Chukwuemeka looked like the real deal. But it looks to me as though this is the start of the Chelsea mass exodus of players here that we're hearing about on the Monday. However, it doesn't look as though the deal is as close to being done as this. After Armando Broja, Leslie Ugo Chukwu also leaves Chelsea and joins Burnley on a permanent deal. Ugo Chukwu has also accepted, as David Ornstein reports, agreement done for both players, with Chelsea going fast on outgoings and Dewsbury Hall to Everton next. Hold the fort, right? There's tons of stuff going on here. So let's take a quick look, first of all, at David Ornstein, who broke this news. Exclusive, Burnley reach agreement with Chelsea to sign Ugo Chukwu, 21-year-old, set to travel for medical and complete permanent move from CFC to Burnley on a 5-year contract. France Youth International significantly bolsters Scott Parker options at number 6 or 8. And this is David Ornstein there reporting for The Athletic. So, Armando Broja going to Burnley. Over the weekend, we were seeing and reading rumours that this could be around 20 million quid, which, considering Armando Broja, all of that promise that we had a couple of years ago, never quite been fulfilled because of injuries. Again, similar to Carney, very unlucky, I think, Armando Broja at Chelsea. But for Chelsea to receive £20 million for Armando Broja, if that is what we're led to believe for the fee, people have said that it's going to be close to Chelsea's valuation, which was 25 million. So I think 20 million will be fine. For Lesley Ugo Chukwu, this was again another quite expensive signing, and I think it fit within those brackets of players where we're looking like a Matissa Mugu this January, but Ugo Chukwu was the year before. We're looking at some of those deals and thinking, are any of these guys actually ever going to play for Chelsea? And I will say, Lesley Ugo Chukwu is actually a really tidy footballer. But when you look at the players that are currently above him in the pecking order, Chelsea bought Isugo this summer. Andre Santos is back from loan. Enzo and Caicedo are infallible in the Chelsea team right now. And Romeo Lavia is also a sensational footballer when fit. So realistically, where are the minutes going to come for Lesley Ugo Chukwu? But for Chelsea to be getting these deals done, when what we've been hearing, and to remind you again, remember what we've heard all weekend, and we don't like hearing it because it puts like a spanner in the Xavi Simons works. But Chelsea are working on outgoings to be able to make space and room and financially be able to make it make sense to go in for Xavi Simons at 60 million quid. So when we're looking here at both Armando Broja and Ugo Chukwu going, and also potentially Kane Chukwuemeka as well, if this isn't filling up space so that Chelsea can go ahead and pursue a bid for Xavi Simons, then I don't know what is, which is why I want a reminder here to subscribe to GBFC, because later on today, I am sure there is going to be a bumper Chelsea news video coming your way later on the channel. But as of right now, my question mark here regarding the Chukwuemeka deal is, will Dortmund actually pay up? Are they just going to offer another loan? Chelsea want the sale. With this one, we'll wait and see what the prices are. But this also came out an hour ago. Everton submit official bid for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to join on permanent deal from Chelsea. Club-to-club talks underway. Chelsea open to this option with discussions ongoing with terms with EFC. It's then been backed up 21 minutes ago. Fabrizio says this: Everton are confident to get Dewsbury-Hall done very soon. It's almost agreed with Chelsea. EFC remain in talks with Southampton for Tyler Dibbling. Intention to get this one done after 2 bids rejected. So, the official bid for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. What would make you happy as a Chelsea fan to see this deal go through? Chelsea spent around £30 million on Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall last summer. And I remember at the start, when he first joined the club, I looked and I thought, I don't really see what the plan is here. This was obviously very early days of Enzo Maresca when we hadn't seen what he's like as a manager. And I looked at Dewsbury-Hall and did think, well, if he's played under Maresca before, Maresca's obviously got very nuanced ways of introducing his teams and putting his teams out there when it comes to instruction. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall was definitely that player that understood that. And I think over the course of the season, he really started growing into the shirt. At first, I didn't think it was necessarily the best signing. I thought it might have been 30 million that could have actually been spent maybe on a better goalkeeper, maybe on a backup striker, which probably would have been a smarter use of the business. But Dewsbury-Hall got a lot of minutes last season. Off the bench, Club World Cup, Conference League as well, starting games, scoring goals, getting assists. I think he's a really tidy footballer. But if Chelsea can make the money back that we spent on him last summer, then I think this is another good piece of opportunistic business for Chelsea, because with Santos and Isugo being there, Chelsea wanting Xavi Simons, you've got Palmer as well that maybe could at some point be deployed deeper. Lavia, when he's fit, I think brilliant footballer. You just wonder where the minutes were going to come. And as much as I don't want to sell Dewsbury-Hall, because I like him. I think he's a great player to have in the squad. Almost choked a minute ago. But I do think Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall going to Everton is a good move potentially for the player. And with how quickly this story developed and dropped today from Fabrizio, like we weren't really hearing too much. We heard last week that West Ham were going to be interested in Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, but there wasn't really anything concrete. But Everton here are getting this deal done supposedly quickly and in silence. So, big updates here for Chelsea, because if we do get rid, or manage to get rid, of Dewsbury-Hall, Chukwuemeka, Ugo Chukwu, and Armando Broja, then this is going to bring in significant money. And it looks as though these deals are getting closer and closer to happening. You can see CFC Pius here also. Chelsea have almost agreed the fee with Everton for Dewsbury-Hall. I think this deal's getting done. I think it could even be done by the end of today. But I will say this, right? If Dewsbury-Hall's going to go, I think massive credit to him. I think he was not a bad signing at all at Chelsea. Yes, he didn't fly last season like Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo. But I think all in all, Chelsea will be happy if they can get that money back for him. So if we take a look at this tweet here as well. Outgoings tracker update. Madueke, 48 million guaranteed. Felix, 26. Petrovic, 25. Broja, unconfirmed, could be around 20. Amugu, 12. Humphreys, 12. That's, by the way, that's 3 players that we're potentially selling to Burnley this summer. So let's see if anyone starts investigating that one, shall we? Probably won't, will they? Notable loans. Guiu to Sunderland. Pius to Strasbourg. This is just as important as we get excited about here we goes and players coming to Chelsea. Esteval training today. Gittins training today. Yes, I'll plug it in again. Big time. We've also got to look at these exits and think, well, do we actually look at these guys and think, yeah, I think there was a big future there. A big important part to play. Maybe Ish Samuel Smith could have had a big future at left back, but we've now gone and signed Yoel Hato, so I'm not complaining about that either, because we've improved the squad there. So all of this is very good news for Chelsea. Let's see what happens as we go through the rest of the day. Does this mean now that Chelsea will go for Xavi Simons if we can get these deals done? As we said at the start of the video, Nkunku still looking to leave. Still Chelsea planning to sell him. And Nicholas Jackson, if the right money comes in, Chelsea will sell him too. So, I just want to put a little plug again on the screen. GBFC10 gets you 10% off at the Megastore. Use the QR code on the screen or the links in the description. And make sure, if you enjoyed this video, keeping them a little bit shorter so that we can do a bigger one later on today when we've got more stuff to go into. But at the moment, players leaving Chelsea left, right and centre. And this means that we are going for Xavi Simons. Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already done so. And I will catch you guys in the next video later on today. Come on, you Blues.